is Shades of WCW Nitro. This is Shades of WWF Monday Night Raw back in the day. A month ago, the fighter who's about to step foot into this studio had a massive win. In a matter of seconds, he's going to walk in, sit here, and break some major news. And so let's not waste any time. It is 1:15. I'm a man of my word. Let us say hello to our guest here today. Walking into that studio, the pride of the Bronx, the one and only Shane Burgos. Shane, how are you, my friend? Good to see you.
I'm good, yeah, good.
Second time in studio.
Second time in studio, yeah.
It was in this one, right? Back in the day in 2017?
No.
Did it look different?
It looked different. Maybe a different,
It might have been a different setup.
different green room maybe I was back in?
Yeah, maybe a different green room. This is great. This is a big surprise.
Yeah.
I didn't tell anyone. You didn't tell anyone.
No, my family.
We just saw you on Long Island. Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like in the outside world. We just saw you Long Island.
Yep.
Less than a month ago, a day away from a month ago, right? I believe that was July 16th
Yep.
on Long Island.
Yep.
Had the big win over Charles Jourdain. You gave us some hints about things going on in your life. I don't want to waste any time. Frank, we have breaking news. You have a major announcement to make.
Yeah, so that was the last fight of my deal. I told you last time we spoke after the fight that I wanted to test free agency, test the water, see whatever. I know what I think I'm worth. I know what I am worth. I want to see what everyone else thought I was worth. So I went out there, I tested the free agency market, and I'm excited to announce that I'm signing with the PFL.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it was not an easy decision. It was just one of those. It was an offer. I couldn't turn it up. I mean, I got two daughters. I got to go back home and I got to look at them in their face and be like, you know, it was worth it when it's all said and done in the sport. With this deal, I feel like that'll secure that. But not taking anything away from my UFC career. Like, man, 11 fights in the UFC. Like, that was a dream when I was 14 years old. I saw it for the first time on TV when I was 12, and I was like, you know what? That's what I want to do. When I was 14, I was like, I made the decision. I started training at 15, and the UFC has given me this opportunity. They gave me the platform to be able to be in this position right now and then secure the deal that I just secured with the PFL. So Sean, Dana, Hunter, Mick, all the guys at the UFC, I can't thank you guys enough.
Wow, okay. A lot to ask you about. First off, congratulations.
Thank you.
Sounds like a great deal for you.
Yeah.
You mentioned how hard it was to make this decision, because I remember I was going to ask you about this. Like, you were telling me, like, you were in school and you would draw pictures and stuff like that. Like, all you wanted was to be a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
Did they, I know PFL's been interested in you for a while. Peter Murray has talked about you.
He's from the Bronx too, so yeah.
He's from the Bronx. He tried to sign you the last time your deal was up, right?
Last time he really wanted me, and then I was like, you know what, I was a UFC fighter. I was so proud of being a UFC fighter, and I still am. I still take a lot of pride in that, but I was a little bit younger at the time.
Yeah. Now
I'm a little bit older, and I'm like, you know what? It's just too good of a deal for me to pass up, and I know they're putting a lot of trust and a lot of stock into me. I'm still in my prime. I'm only 31 years old. I'm going to make the absolute most out of this deal.
How difficult? How much did you?
It was hard, man. It was hard because like I said, I love the UFC. I really do love everything about the UFC. The way they treat us, the staff when you're there on fight week, so accommodating. You got like the PT, you got the food all there for you. You got Heidi who runs the entire event. She's freaking awesome. My hair braider, Etienne, she was awesome. So leaving all that behind it was not an easy decision at all. But again, I got to come home and look my two daughters in the face. And at the end of my career, I got to say it was worth it.
Did the UFC match? Did they try?
They couldn't.
It was that good of a deal?
Yeah, it was that good of a deal.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they almost made the decision easier for you.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It still wasn't an easy decision, but yeah. It was, it's not, I don't want to say bittersweet, but it's just like, oh man, it's
You're
hard.
About to get paid, man.
Yeah, no, exactly.
This is the dream.
Exactly. That's why I keep focusing on that. And PFL is a great organization. They're ESPN too. And one of the good things that I like about my deal is that I'll be able to commentate in the future too.
Wow.
So that was a huge part for me. Because I'm a diehard. I'm a diehard fan. I love this sport. So once I'm done with this sport, I'm never going to be done with this sport. I'm going to be involved some way. So being able to commentate and get my feet wet with that was a huge factor for me too.
So one thing that's interesting about this is you just had your last fight, but usually how these things go, there's like this exclusive period, 3 months, this and that. Your fight was a month ago, less than a month ago. Did they just say, God bless?
No. Sean said, go get some offers, see what they're offering, and then come back to us with what they're saying, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
So that's what my manager did. Malky went out and did that.
Yeah, Malky went out and did you talk to anyone else, or was it just PFL?
It was just PFL.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they came strong.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't want to ask like specifics, but is this the most you've ever made in your career?
Yeah, absolutely.
Not even close?
If it was close, like last time, it was relatively close. The first time, that's why I was like, you know what? It's not that big of it was a bigger difference. I mean, it was six-figure difference back then, what I was going to get paid from PFL, and I turned that down to stay with the UFC. And now it's obviously bigger than that.
So it was actually a smarter. I mean, like in the end, you bet on yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And the numbers went up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I just made a post on like bet on yourself. I'm huge into that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But so even back then, it was a difference of 6 figures, and you still turned it down.
Yeah. Like I really, like I said, it still isn't an easy decision because money isn't everything, but I mean, just that financial security, it means a lot. So it was a hard decision, but I'm excited to get going with the PFL.
And just curious, why didn't you talk to other organizations?
They didn't show too much interest in the first time, so I was like, you know what, if you guys weren't interested the first time, I'm like, I don't really care to hear from you this time, so whatever.
Did you speak directly to the PFL guys like Peter and whatnot, or was it just your management?
This time I did. I was in Miami last week, I think it was, and I met with my manager, and then we called Peter on the phone.
How was that?
It was cool, man. I went to the headquarters back with the first time I was renegotiating, and met with them there, and he's an awesome guy, real good guy.
So you're gonna fight at 145.
That's another thing. I'm definitely. I'm on that. I'm teetering on 55-45. I mean, I'm getting tired of fucking the weight cut. Everybody knows how big.
What are you right now?
I'm big. Yeah.
You're big? Like, how big do you get?
I get big enough to fight at 55.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Is it starting to kill you?
It's not the actual weight cut, because I take it so strategically, and I count every single thing I eat, but I'm just getting tired of that part where, like, I'm only cutting about 10 pounds in the sauna every time, which isn't crazy at all. But to get to the point where I'm cutting the 10 pounds, it's just like, dude, I'm tired of this, man. I'm a bigger guy. I can put on more muscle. I can fill out a little bit more at 55. So I think the first fight will probably be at 45, and then from there, I think I might go second season at 55.
Okay, because I was going to ask, because they have their semifinals this weekend at 45.
Yeah.
So I was curious if you were looking at their roster. I mean, with all due respect, they've got a great 45.
They got a great
Brendan
45,
Loughnane, Chris Wade, super tough New Yorker. But I feel like the path, with all due respect to them, I feel like the path is wide open for you to get this milli.
I can't look at it that way. I got to look at it like I'm in the UFC still. You know what I mean? I can't do that, because then I'm gonna end up looking stupid, thinking that these guys are easy. They're not easy, and they're not gonna come at me thinking, oh, they're looking at me like I'm fresh meat. I'm sure. So I got to keep in mind that these are UFC caliber guys, and I do think Brendan Loughnane and Chris Wade, 100%. Obviously, they are UFC caliber guys. So I'm not overlooking any of them. But at 55 too, I'm watching. So
okay. So I was going to ask about that, but are you, like, we have seen, let's be honest, some guys come over to the PFL, big name guys, and not do well, right? I know Pettis just broke his hands. He made it to the semis, Rory.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's been part of the mistake? Guys have come over and maybe not taking it as seriously?
Possibly, but I also think it maybe was a little bit at the end of their career.
Yeah.
I don't see myself as being at the end of my career. I'm only 31 years old, and I feel like I haven't really hit my pride. I feel like my prime. I feel like I haven't really even shown the best of me yet.
Right.
Yeah. So I feel like my best years are still ahead of me.
Are they going to bring you out? They have an event in London this weekend. Are you going to be...
I mean, I'm going on vacation this weekend, so I don't know if I can do that. Yeah.
Now, they have this weekend, and then they have the finals, right, in October, the championship. But they've talked about doing like super fights and things like that. Are you going to fight again this year?
Yeah, so it looks like I'll probably be fighting November, December.
Okay.
Yeah.
In obviously like a non-tournament fight,
outside
right?
a tournament fight.
Like a one-off.
Yeah, exactly. Like not an exhibition, but outside the season fight.
Got it. And do you know who you'll be fighting?
No, nobody yet. Yep.
Have they talked any?
No, nothing yet.
Okay.
We just got this deal done like 24 hours ago. It's not even completely done yet. I didn't even put pen to paper yet.
You could have brought it here and signed it.
It's not done yet. We're just going over some language stuff in the contract, but it's basically a done deal.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you will fight again at least once this year?
Yes.
Probably just once?
Yes, yeah.
And it will be at 45?
Most likely.
Okay, most likely. And you think next year in the tournament you'll be...
We're going to see how this one goes and go from there. It could be 55, it could be 45. I'm not 100% sure yet.
I was talking about this over the weekend. Like, you see some of the guys who are in the finals, like, Wade, or semifinals, Wade, Loughnane, even this dude that beat Rory, Delano Taylor, Juan Adams.
Yeah.
Like, to me, and of course the UFC offers so much, and it's such a big platform, and they are by far number one, and they're on ESPN and all this stuff. But you look at some guys, and with all due respect, the caliber and the fact that they're able to make this type of money. If I'm like a mid-tier fighter at this point, I'm talking like mid-tier. I'm talking a guy who can't even get to the UFC. Why would you go anywhere else when you can make $1 million? You know what I mean?
No, I hear what you're saying, but it's still if you're not in UFC yet, you're saying?
Yeah. Or not in UFC, or if you're like a UFC quote-unquote cast-off.
You
lost 3 in a row.
Yeah, and that's one thing I like about it, the structure. You win these fights, there's your bag, right? It's right there. You can see it. It's almost like, you know what I mean? With UFC, you don't know exactly when you're going to get a title shot. You don't know exactly when you're going to get these opportunities. With this one, it's like, it's laid out right in front of you.
Right.
You win those 2, out-of-season fights, you rack up the points, and then 3 fights to win the $1 million. It's right there for you to see.
How do you feel about the format as a fighter? Like, obviously, you're not someone who needs to make a name. You're very well known. do you like this format, or would you prefer just one-off fights like you had in the UFC?
I like the idea of the format being it's black and white.
Right.
There's no gray area. I do like that. The 5 fights in a year is a lot. That's why I'm not sure about 45 or 55.
Yeah.
So for me personally, I don't care too much about that. But so that'll be a little bit harder for me to do the 45 every 6 weeks or something. But again, it's laid out right in front of you. And with the money that you're making, how am I going to complain about cutting weight twice in 6 weeks? I can't.
And people forget like that you're making money en route to the million. Like you're making
exactly.
Like, I know Pettis was making 750 en route to the million.
Yeah.
So there's a lot. I mean, PFL. It appears as though they're paying pretty damn good. You can attest to this.
100%. So when all said and done after the first season, when I plan on winning, I'll be a multimillionaire. I'll say that.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it possible? Can you tell me this? In one PFL fight that you'll have, how many UFC fights combined equal that one PFL fight? Multiple?
Yeah, multiple. Yeah.
Like you're killing it now. This was.
Yeah.
I mean, this was a no-brainer. Did you have someone like smack you upside the head and be like, "Why are you even thinking about this?"
My wife and my dad were like, "What? Yeah, like what? What are you thinking?" Yeah, but money-wise, it is no-brainer. But like I said, it's not right. Like I love the fucking UFC. Like I thought it was my dream as a 14-year-old kid trying to get there. So that it wasn't an easy decision. If we're just looking at money, it's black and white. I mean,
no-brainer.
I'm making good money, but I can't say anything bad about the UFC. The position I'm in now, and the reason why I got that deal is because of the platform that UFC gave me to put on those crazy fights that gave me this worth.
Yep. Did you call anyone there to say, thank you?
Not yet. Like I said, I haven't put pen to paper on that. But I can't thank them enough. I mean, when I was 14 years old, I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do. I was terrible in school. I hated high school. I hated all that. I had no path in life. I was like, what the hell? All my friends are talking about going to college. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like what? I have no clue what I'm gonna do. And then I find it on TV. I'm like, this is awesome. I'm obsessed with it. Then I find a gym. I started training at that gym. Been the same gym ever since. And I'm like, okay, it gave me my path. It gave me a purpose in life. So I can't thank the UFC enough. I really can't.
Do you remember what that fight was?
My first fight?
Like the one that you saw.
Yeah, I mean, it was a UFC Unleashed episode. I told the story like 50 times. I probably told you the story. It was Matt Hughes slamming Carlos Newton. It's on UFC Unleashed, and I was like, he knocks him out, and I was like, what the hell is this? And my cousins, I was like, wait, he won a belt? And I was like, you can win a belt by slamming a dude? I was like, what do they do? They just get to do whatever they want? I didn't know the rules at the time. I was like, this is fucking crazy. And then it was like a marathon of the UFC Unleashed on Spike TV.
On Spike, yeah.
Binged the
Were you a
thing.
pro wrestling fan?
Yeah. So you were giving that intro. I was getting a little nervous. Honestly, I was like, I remember the WCW.
Remember that? When the limo would pull up?
That was the best.
The
Monday Night War.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, that's what the reason I asked if you're a pro wrestling fan was because like that's how I started watching UFC.
Exactly.
And you're like, oh, this is pro wrestling, but it's real?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I fell off the pro wrestling in middle school. Then I found that right in the beginning of high school. And I was like, it's similar with the, like back in the day, they had the ramps and the fireworks. And I was like, that's kind of what drew me in. And then it's real. Dudes are fucking slamming each other in the heads and shit like that. So I'm like, oh, this is insane. Love it first.
Were you a troublemaker?
No, and I've never been in a street fight. I've never been in a fight outside of a cage.
Really?
Never.
Wow.
Never. So I was just terrible at school. I hated school. I didn't understand why I'm never gonna use chemistry in my life. Why the hell are you making me do this? I gotta do it, and then I failed, and I gotta do it in summer school. And if I don't do that, then I gotta stay back and not graduate on time. I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. So
Did you graduate?
I graduated, yeah, but it was close because
It was dicey.
I cut a lot of school back in I actually ended up failing gym in my senior year.
Come on.
And I wasn't gonna graduate because of gym. Because the gym was second period. It's 7 a.m. I'm not even trying to be.
Second period is 7 a.m.? What time does school start?
It started at 6.
Come on.
Yeah.
What school is this?
Monroe Woodbury High School. It was like 6:30, and then second class was 7:30.
Wow.
So I was like, I'm not trying to get sweaty. I didn't even go to school until like third period, so I just kept missing gym, and I ended up failing gym. Guy's like, I'm not gonna hold you back for this. So he's like, clean up the gym closet, and I'll pass you. So I ended up having to do that.
Imagine that, an MMA fighter. So you just never showed up?
Not never, but I missed a lot, enough to obviously not pass.
But you would think that someone like yourself who's like, I don't care about chemistry, math, whatever, you would relish gym.
No, 100%. But you tell me I gotta wake up at 6 a.m. to get to there. That's too early, man.
So at what point did you say like, I figured it out? Like, was it really right away?
First class, I was like, wow, that was a lot of fun. First training session, I was like, that was so much fun.
How old were you?
I was 15 years old. I was like, I nenever had fun like that. Like I do some other sports that are cool, but this is a different kind of fun. I was like, I don't think I could do what these guys are doing. They're crazy. I don't think I could do that. 3 years later, I had my first fight in high school.
Wow. You were in high school?
I was in high school, yeah.
How old
We
were
actually,
you?
I just turned 18 then in March, and then June I had my first fight right before graduating. We ended up watching my fight in economics class.
Come on.
Yeah, that was pretty
What
cool.
do you mean? Someone recorded it?
No. Like we pulled it up online, and
Oh, no
it was
way.
at the end of the year, so we didn't have school. You know what I mean? You don't really do shit.
no.
So at the end of the year, they pulled it up on the TV, and my economics teacher showed it.
And what was the result?
I won, unanimous decision. Yeah.
Oh, but a decision. And was that an amateur fight?
That was an amateur fight. Yeah.
Okay.
I used to fight at 35 back then too.
Damn.
Yeah.
And where was it?
That was in Rahway, New Jersey.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah,
I know that.
yeah.
And how many people were there?
100 maybe 200. I got a big family, so maybe 200.
came out?
50 is like my family. Yeah.
And were you like crapping in your pants before?
No, it was very weird. I don't get nervous really, but even for my first fight, I was like, this is just, it was very surreal.
Right.
And it's always been like that ever since. Like everyone, how is it fighting? It's like, I can never tell you how it is until you do it. You would never, ever, you can't imagine it.
Right,
it's
right.
a very surreal thing. And from the first fight till my last fight, it's been the same ever since. It's very surreal, kind of outer body experience.
Did you know last month on Long Island, was there a part of you that's like, this could be it?
No, not at all. No, I thought I was just gonna re-sign with the UFC.
You really did?
Yeah, I swear to God I did. I feel like if I knew that was gonna be my last fight, I would have soaked that up a lot more. That's a little bit of a regret I had, that I didn't really like relish the moment. Like I remember when Bruce was saying my name and the crowd went fucking crazy. That was awesome looking back, but I wanted to soak it up even more. I wish I could relive that moment. I really do.
But that's something you say in retrospect. Like you're freaking locked in, right?
Yeah,
It's hard
yeah,
to be
yeah.
looking around.
Exactly. I'm not
smelling
thinking about the
roses.
next fight or the next
Right.
deal. In that moment, I'm thinking about the guy that's in front of me at that point in time.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Obviously, I may have missed it, but like leading up to the fight, you didn't mention that this was the last. It was only.
I did. No, I did.
Did you mention?
I did a couple
Okay.
times in media day. I mentioned that a couple
Okay.
times too.
And so, did you do that because you were trying to let people know? Like,
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
smart.
Like, and then we talked about it. Like last time I did it, it was kind of like taboo. Like it wasn't done as much.
yeah.
Now at this point, it's been done so many more times. So it's not as I don't know the word, frowned upon, I guess. I'd say.
It always baffles me when fighters don't bring this up. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't want to make a big deal. I'm like, yo, this is your life. Like, if people don't know that you're available, how the hell are they going to come to the
That's
table?
the first time I didn't really do it. I didn't do that at all. I just kept my mouth shut really and just went about it. And this time I was like, let's make it a little bit more exciting, get some hype, get some buzz going around it, and that's what I did for this one. But I completely agree with you.
When you were there, like after the fight, I think you mentioned to me when we spoke after, you didn't speak to Dana, right?
No, I
You
didn't
see him.
No.
Did anyone come up to you and say like, we'll figure this out, we'll sign you, you know? Like,
Dana said it in his post fight.
but no one came back.
No. I drove to the fight, so I actually I literally once I was done with everything, I did the media shit, and then I was like, all right, I can go. All right, I'll see you guys.
Wow, you didn't stay at the hotel?
No.
Oh my gosh.
The fight was done at
I know. It was
what,
like
3 o'clock.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I went back home.
You drove to the fight?
No, my cousin drove my car to the fight from the hotel. Then I drove home, took my truck and just drove.
That's
home.
great.
Yeah.
How were your legs when you were driving? Because weren't your
They were
legs-
fine at that point. At that point, they were fine. Yeah. Before that.
And by the way, like I know we talked about the legs on the Monday, I believe it was. Did you ever have any issues?
No,
like,
not at all. No, it was just the lactic acid, complete lactic acid.
And
dump.
first time, right?
First time ever. Yeah, first time ever.
But you said it was because you changed up things a little bit.
Yeah, I was putting so much emphasis on getting a finish in that fight that I was squeezing with everything I had for, what's it, 7.5 minutes, something like that. So my legs, once I stood up, after the second round, I was like, fuck, damn, here we go. Come on.
Now, do you feel like you need to change stuff going forward? Like let's say you go to 55 and you add muscle, but like you have to do certain exercises that this won't happen again?
Yeah, I just don't put so much of an emphasis. I knew it was my last fight on my deal, and I really wanted to finish in that fight. I just put way too much of an emphasis. Like I should have threw more ground and pound and stuff like that instead of just trying to take the choke the whole time. So hindsight's 20/20. It was a stupid mistake on my part just to force the choke. That's what I was doing. I was forcing it.
So a lot was made of the fact that you're undefeated in New York. I believe it's 7-0 now, right? They were just in New York. PFL was right. 2 weeks ago, I was there. Any talk of fighting in New York next year? Like you got to keep this going.
Yeah, they definitely want.
Okay, was that part of the?
Yeah, it wasn't even. It's just
It's a given.
It's obvious, exactly.
Right.
It's like, yeah, why wouldn't we put him on a New York card? Like, dude, every time I'm in New York, I mean, if I got commission off ticket sales, I feel like from the UFC, I would make a decent amount of ticket sale commission because it doesn't. I fought in Ottawa, I got a huge crowd. I fight in Texas, I got a huge crowd. I fight in Vegas, I got a huge crowd. So if it's in New York, they only got to drive 45 to an hour.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Did you get percentage for PFL tickets?
No, I should have put that in my deal, right?
Hey, if it's not done yet.
Yeah, you're right. You're
a
right.
little carve
Not
out.
to hear that. Yeah. Hear that.
So with UFC at this, okay, so you end the UFC run, you're going over now to PFL, And I believe, like I was just talking to Anthony Smith about this. Anthony Smith, the day before his fight against Ankalaev, he ended up signing.
Yeah.
And he said, there were other reasons, and he's doing the TV stuff and whatnot.
Yeah.
What would you say to someone who is in your shoes and maybe afraid to take that jump? But there's more money. You're turning down more money just to be a UFC fighter.
It depends on who you are. Every single person is different. You know what I mean? I can't say I'm worth the same as this guy. This guy might be worth more. He might be worth less. So it would be circumstantial. I got to know who it is. I got to know what his record is. I can't just give a generic look because it can't be that generic. If you're 2-2 in the UFC, now you're done with your career, and you're not going to come to the PFL, and they're going to be like, yeah, all right, we really, you know what I'm saying? So it's circumstantial. If you already established your name and you use that platform the UFC gave you to establish your name, then why wouldn't you just test it out?
Right. But for some reason, I feel like fighters are so afraid.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Anthony Smith got a great deal because he's doing the TV stuff already, so that's phenomenal. Like if I was him, I would probably do the same thing because he's fucking great at behind the death stuff. I wouldn't want to lose that if I was him either. So and that's his path when he's done. That's again when I'm done with the sport, I want to still be involved with the sport.
Right.
This is giving me that path to be able to do that.
Okay. How many years is it for?
It's a 2-year deal.
2-year deal. Okay.
Yeah. Two season deal.
Two full seasons. So that's like 10 fights if all goes your way, right?
11. Yeah.
Because there's the extra
exactly,
one.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a lot of fights.
It is a lot.
I feel like in UFC, again, this is not me bad. Like I fully recognize people sometimes will say like the UFC is the NFL.
You can't.
You sound dumb.
Yeah.
But I do think that now with other leagues coming up,
It's
with
healthy.
PFL, it's
healthy.
good. It's good.
Yeah.
Again, speaking of the 90s wrestling thing, right? That's how everyone started to get paid.
Yeah.
So this is good for the sport. Competition
100%.
breeds success. Competition breeds, guys getting paid and whatnot.
And when I see these guys getting paid more, I'm like, let's go. Good, beautiful. Right. Yeah, if they're in my division, if I fought them, I don't care. Like, get paid. I want everybody to get paid. I don't want to just be the only one. If I'm getting paid, then you're going to be getting paid too. It's going to be everyone's going to rise up.
Tide lifts all boats.
Exactly.
I know you're a big MMA fan, but also, you have a family and whatnot. Have you watched their shows?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Who do you like over there? Like who?
I like Brendan Loughnane a lot. I feel like he's a fun fighter to watch. I like Chris Wade a lot. I used to train
you versus Brendan Loughnane would be a sick fight.
I mean, there's all four of those guys that are in would be a great fight. But then the 55 too. You got Stevie Ray in there. Anthony Pettis, obviously.
Right.
The Clay Collard, is he in the?
He didn't make it to the.
He didn't. He's really good too. So
that dude is tough as hell. His boxing is great.
Super tough. So like, there's no you can't go to the PFL and think you're gonna get easy fights. Like guys that don't have a million followers or 50,000 followers, it doesn't mean shit. Like just because he doesn't know him doesn't mean that this guy can't fight. There's guys in the PFL that are legitimate that they can hang with the UFC guys.
I feel like I know your answer here, but I'll ask it anyways. We were debating a couple of weeks ago who's the number 2 promotion right now in the sport. And I think you can make a strong case it's PFL now, that they've overtaken Bellator. A little more momentum. I feel like every fight has purpose, meaning, and they're being aggressive. Like they tried to get Cyborg recently. They're signing you, the Pettis deal recently, the Rory deal, other guys as well. They're doing this big expansion in Europe. I don't know if you've seen that, but like that's obviously a big deal. I feel this. Also the platform.
Yeah,
the ESPN
that's what I was gonna say. It's got to be them because it's just easy to watch their shows. It's so easy. If you have ESPN, you watch UFC already. They're on the ESPN too. Like Bellator's on
Showtime.
Is that like you need a subscription for that? Or, like unless you're a diehard fan, you're not going to do that.
Right.
The diehards are only getting subscriptions. I mean, if you already have a subscription to ESPN for UFC, then why not just tune in to watch the PFL, which is like the day before they usually do, Fridays?
Yeah. Actually, but on this past weekend, they were on at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was bleeding over into, it was like freaking 9 hours of fighting. Did you watch I think you were tweeting about it, right? The Cruz and Cheeto.
Yeah.
When you see, I'm just curious, like now you're in this point of your career now where you're about to get paid. Seriously, like all that work is, not to say you didn't get paid, but like this is a different level, right?
Yeah.
And the sport, like it all, like on that Saturday, right? You see Rory, legend, he ends up retiring. Cruz, legend, knocked out. Like the sport is unforgiving, right?
It is.
That to me is exhibit 9,648. Why you need to get paid. You need to take all the money right now.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you look at it through that? Like you're like, damn, like
back
at one point,
when I was 26, 27,
you weren't.
I wasn't. No, I wasn't. Now that I'm 31, 100%, because whoever's a star today doesn't mean they're going to be a star tomorrow.
Right.
It really, like, you look at it, there's so many. I don't want to name any fighters to put them down or anything like that, but it's happened so many times where they're huge, they're stars, or not even necessarily stars, but they're going to be a star. You think they're going to be a star, they're going to get paid, you think this, and then they fall off and you don't really even hear about them anymore. And it's like,
that's where you got to get it now.
Like you had the platform,
right?
But now you're not getting paid for it. you should have tested free agency at that point, right? If you could have.
Right. All right. So when you look back, favorite fight in the octagon?
Oof.
Favorite moment, favorite fight?
Favorite moment. The last moment, Bruce saying my name.
Really?
Was that when he said my name in the like,
what was so special about
it
that?
was the crowd. I never heard a crowd like that.
Wow.
It was awesome. It was
that one was loudest, like even MSG.
Yeah, because MSG, they had a bunch of New Yorkers on the card. I was the only New Yorker on the card.
That's true.
It was crazy. I felt it in my bones. So that was a great moment. But I also like the MSG fight when I fought Mac one. That was
incredible.
That was a crazy one. That was crazy. The fight week, everything was just awesome. My first Long Island card when I fought Pepe, that was like everyone was like, oh shit, it was this Shane Burgos game. So that one was awesome.
That was 2017?
Yeah. No, yes, 17.
Yeah.
My
the Weidman one, right?
Yes, yeah.
Gaslam.
Yeah, but man, it's hard to say. I can't give you one because then like look when I fought Cub Swanson, like when I was 18 years old, I flew out to Vegas to do the Fan Expo, the first ever Fan Expo.
Come on.
Yeah, and
as a fan?
Yeah, and my parents, that was my graduation gift because I actually graduated.
Come on.
Yeah, so me and my cousin, he was 21 and I was 18, flew out to Vegas, did the Fan Expo. Dude, I'm telling you, I was diehard, like getting pictures of all the fans, waiting on every line, like geeking out. And then Cub Swanson was walking around. I don't think he had a booth at the time because he was in WC. And he was just walking around. And I was like, oh, Cub Swanson. I was like, can I get a picture? And I got a picture of Cub Swanson. And then like fast forward and I'm fighting him. So yeah,
that must have been surreal.
Yeah, it was definitely weird.
Did you ever tell him that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I ever spoke to him like one-on-one before. So
really?
Yeah.
Even after the fight?
After the fight, I saw him real quick, and then that was it.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So what year was that? Was that 2010? When did you graduate?
I graduated 09. It was 09, the first Fan Expo.
Damn, that's crazy.
I went to both of them. 09 and then 10 was in Vegas again. I went to that one too.
Did you go to the event? Like I remember.
No, I watched it at a bar. I couldn't get into the bar, but they let me sit in the living room area and watch.
Why didn't you go to the event? You couldn't get tickets?
I was broke, man. I was 18 years old.
So who'd you go with? Your cousin?
Yeah, my cousin. It's just me and him. Yeah.
But who paid for your parents?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Where'd you guys stay?
It's a funny story. Like the old downtown Vegas.
Oh yeah,
like
Fremont Street and all that.
Exactly. If you don't know Vegas, you just think a hotel's a hotel.
Right.
We ended up getting a hotel at the Lucky 7 or something like that, just because it was cheap. And I was like, oh, cool. We get that. And I was like, this is not the Vegas we're thinking about. But coincidentally, my other cousin, he was there with a bunch of his friends that were staying at the Mandalay Bay. Just coincidentally. He was doing some other stuff. Just, it was a bachelor party, I think, or something like that. He was like, just come stay with us. And the event was the Mandalay Bay. So I was like, dude, oh my God. They had a TV in the bathroom and everything. And this is freaking crazy. So we were going from staying in like a trap house to staying like in a Mandalay Bay in a suite. I was like, thank God he was there too.
Do you remember who you met? Like which fighters you took?
Every fighter that was there. I went out on every single line to meet every single fighter.
Wow.
I got all the pictures and everything, all the autographs. Yeah.
That is crazy.
My room was like decked out like crazier than this.
Yes,
ask my brother. Yeah, crazier. The posters everywhere. Yeah, I was just a diehard.
This is all you ever wanted.
Yeah. Absolute diehard fan. I eat, sleep, live, bleed this sport. I fucking love it. So now being in the UFC for so long, like I still love it, but I do get burnt out of it a little bit, especially when I'm fighting. Like I don't try to watch like the card before. Like if I'm fighting on this Saturday, the week before, I don't even want to watch it. I just want to just focus, relax, chill. So it does burn you out a little bit, but I'm addicted. I love this shit.
I remember when we talked. I think it was the first time you were in studio and you were talking about your teeth.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, the last one was here. My front one was chipped.
Right.
Yeah.
But didn't you say something to the effect of like, about the health insurance or the dental insurance and you didn't have?
I didn't have dental insurance at the time, no. Yeah.
And so how did you end up?
I got a friend that hooked me up and helped me get it.
So like think about that, right?
Yeah.
Like from staying at the shitty hotel in Vegas and going to the expo to making it to the UFC but not having the money to fix your teeth, right? To now getting paid because of what you did in the UFC. That's why I feel like I understand when you say bittersweet. I totally understand. Like my dream was to go to ESPN. I wanted to go to ESPN and it was great. And it got me to a certain point. But then like there's something powerful about being able to be like, no, now I have other opportunities as a result of this one. I'm grateful for this one, but not having to shit on it on the way out, but recognizing that this got you now to where you can actually support your family and support yourself, right?
Exactly how I feel. Like I can never say anything bad about the UFC. I can't. How could I ever? Like I love the UFC. I love everything about it. They gave me the platform. I'm here. Now I'm in PFL. Now I'm going to love the PFL even more. They're changing my life completely with this space. So, yeah.
Do you feel, and obviously we could talk when the fight is about to happen, but one thing I've asked a lot of the guys who took big deals to go to the PFL or even when they go to Bellator, there's sometimes this feeling of, I need to prove that I was worth this money. I need to prove that I'm worth the investment, right? Like they're taking a chance on me. I need to win, look good, and make this all. Do you?
I could see feeling like that, but at the end of the day, when the referee says go, I swear to God, I'm not thinking about shit. I'm just thinking about the guy that's in front of me right there. So I can see leading up thinking that, but again, once they say go, all that is gone. Everything is gone. No matter what was happening in my life before that moment, doesn't matter. So I don't think I'm that kind of fighter that'll bring that kind of stress or those kind of thoughts or emotions into the cage. I feel like I'm a very free fighter. Like when I get in there, I'm fighting. I'm not.
You don't get nervous?
I can't even say nervous because
really,
no.
GSP would tell me like would want to throw up.
I can see some people doing that. I get more nervous for like I really don't get as nervous. I get more nervous for sparring or for like a hard cardio workout. Like when my when my strength and conditioning, because I know it's gonna suck.
Right.
Like for the fight, you don't really know because it's a little bit new territory, so it's unknown. When I have a hard sparring session, I'm like, oh, I gotta spar this guy today. Shit, this motherfucker's hard today. Then I know what to expect. You know what I mean? The cardio is like I know what to expect. The fight, it's like I don't know what to expect. This could be 30 seconds long.
You still sparring as much as you did early in your career?
No.
Because of the head trauma?
I just don't need to anymore. You get to, like Max said it too.
Yeah.
You get to a certain point, you don't really need to. And I would highly recommend to spar when you're coming up, because that's how you get good. The only way to get good at fighting is to fight, right? But then you get to a certain point where you're not getting better by doing all that sparring. You're probably doing more damage, if anything, taking all those shots to the head and stuff like that. So I'm only sparring once a week.
Just once?
Yeah.
How many times? Like, is it just like one sparring session? That's it?
Yeah, and then we'll do other light sessions where we're flowing, like flow sparring, touch sparring, moving. Where it's still the same exact motion as sparring. We're just not blasting each other in the head as hard as we can.
And when you are sparring, are you wearing headgear?
Mouthpiece. I just came from sparring, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. So you're sparring even when you're not in camp?
Yeah. I only did one round today. My teammate's frightened, so I want to give him a good look, so I just did one round.
Who's that?
Rob Riccio. He's 2-0 pro.
And where's he fighting?
CFFC. Him, my brother, and 2 other of my teammates. So
your brother fighting as well?
Yeah, my brother's.
Is your brother right over there?
He's right over there.
What's up, man?
Yeah.
That's Ryan.
Yeah,
he's fighting for CFFC too.
Yeah, he's 1-0 pro, 3-0 amateur.
Soon you'll be here getting these big time deals.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Now it's very dark over there. Ryan, excuse me, looks like he's like 15.
Yeah, he does. He's 21 though.
21, holy smokes.
You got a baby face, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's even worse when you get beat up by a kid that looks like he's 15, right?
Yeah. And when's that fight?
October 8th, right? Yeah, he just got an opponent yesterday. Yeah.
So wow. So he's 2-0, you said?
1-0. He'll be 2-0.
Right.
3-0 amateur, all finishes. Yep.
Wow. So you're 31. So you're 10 years older than him.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Big gap between you guys.
Yeah. It's like I'm like his second dad or something like that.
Yeah.
He's always with me.
Did he always want to be an MMA fighter?
Once I found this when I was 14 years old, he was 4. He found it, and he was just him and my other brother were just tagging along, 4. watching. Yeah. He started training when he was 5 years old.
Wow.
He's 21 now. It's crazy.
UFC 70.
70, is that 70. That's not Anderson Silva versus.
Come on, you can't claim to be an encyclopedia and not know UFC 70.
70, give me a
75.
75 sounds more familiar. That's not Anderson Silva one.
No.
Oh man, I knew backstage. I was like, fuck, he's gonna ask me Kirby shit. I'm like, shit, here we go.
Anderson did fight around there. He fought 77.
That was the Luder fight.
No.
The Luder fight was before that.
You need to stop sparring.
Yeah, I do. So,
Luder fight was 68.
Okay, all right.
When Luder missed weight.
Yes, I remember that. Now again, I told you, I was from 62, I think, all the way up to like 120. That was the Bisping versus Gallen fight. I was able to name all of them.
This is right in your prime.
I know. I'm saying I fucking was like, I gotta let go of this shit. I gotta stop.
70 was Gabriel Gonzaga and
Don't say it. Don't say it. I wanted to forget that one.
Because I
was a diehard Krokop fan.
Yeah.
Diehard. I remember I could barely go to sleep that night.
Really?
I was that devastated when he got knocked out. I was like, you gotta be kidding.
It was an afternoon card, remember?
It was a tape delay.
Yeah.
Somebody messaged me like, Krokop got head kick knocked out. How the hell that happened? And I was like, he obviously means the other way around. He knocked the guy out with the head kick. And then it happened. I was like, yeah, like a diehard.
Remember his ankle?
Yeah, his knee was twisted around. Yeah. Oh, terrible.
And then 75 was Henderson Rampage. Remember it was Pi champ versus UFC champ.
Well, what was 80? What was Silva versus Henderson?
82.
Yeah, I knew it was 82.
Pride of a champion.
Yeah,
that's what they call it. Where was it?
That I'm
not good with that.
Not as good with that one.
Really?
Not as good with
Columbus.
Ohio. All right.
Yeah, they used to always do like the march around the Arnold Classic.
Yeah, Arnold Classic. Yep. We went to that. He met Uriah Faber
at the Arnold Classic.
Arnold Classic. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. So okay, because I remember the first time we did this, you were nailing him.
I was a little bit better. I mean, you put me on the spot. Now I knew what to expect. It's like, oh fuck, here we go.
92. 94 is easy.
94 is easy. Why? Because it's in another country.
No, it wasn't. It was in Vegas. 94 is a huge one.
Oh, GSP.
against?
He fought on UFC 100 against Thiago Alves, so GSP fought Koscheck.
No, come on.
You put me on the spot. Yeah.
Huge one, BJ.
Oh, BJ, it was the best. That countdown show was
Prime
the best.
time.
That was phenomenal.
I worked on it.
That was phenomenal.
Yeah.
That was phenomenal. That was the first one? The first one? Yeah. That
Remember
was phenomenal.
That was,
Goosebumps.
Yo, I have a crazy story about that. So I was working for a website called MMArated.com, and then it shut down. And then I couldn't find a job in MMA media. So this is January 2009, right?
Okay, yeah.
That's when the fight happened. And so did you see The Last Dance? Michael Jordan and all that.
I know, but
you know of it, right?
Yeah.
Man, you got to watch it. It's incredible.
I
You're not a
heard.
sports fan?
I'm not.
Really?
I'm an MMA fan. I'm a combat sports fan. I'm not.
No, like Michael Jordan, like you can't find any. No.
I know you're a Knicks fan, but no.
Yeah, all right.
Can't
Fine.
stand.
You're not a Knicks fan. New Yorker.
I'm not a fan.
Nothing.
It's not a yeah.
Yankees.
Yankees, no.
You're from the Bronx.
I know.
How far do you live from the stadium?
I used to live 10 minutes. I went to a game. I actually went to a perfect game back in like '96 or something like that. I got like a baseball.
Who was it? David Cohn?
I could not tell
David
you.
Wells?
Text my dad and ask him.
Wow.
I had the baseball from it. Like it said, perfect game. It was supposed to be a big deal. I was like,
Yeah, that is a big freaking deal.
I didn't even know what that. I didn't even know what that meant. I just learned what that meant like last year.
All right. Well, anyway, the producer of The Last Dance, who's a really big deal, produced those prime times. So it was high quality. His name was Jason Hare, or his name is.
Quality.
And he was my friend. I knew him because I worked at HBO with him. And he's like, hey, you're an MMA fan. I just got this gig from the UFC. Come help us. So my job for that, so it was like they did, I think it was 3 or 4 episodes leading up to the fight. My job was to just, what was it called? Like you log. I had to log every second of the BJ Penn training footage.
Oh, God.
Meaning like at minute 103, he throws, so that when they're editing it, they could go, oh, we need a head kick from BJ in training, it'll pop up, right? So that was my job. BJ didn't train.
Oh, shit.
So like I got to watch an MMA fighter's training camp,
Yeah.
and there was like no footage of him training. Now, when I say he didn't train, he would show up, he would do this, but I was like, this is crazy. Like he's not doing
That was
anything.
a huge fight too.
Yeah, and he was like going for like a light jog, because the thing was he was fighting at 70.
Yeah. So
Remember?
you didn't have to lose weight.
He didn't have to lose weight. So I remember thinking, I didn't like gamble or anything. This is 2009.
Yeah.
You know, what the hell do I know? So the first episode airs and he looks like crap in the episodes. Then he says, I'm not coming back. You're not allowed to film anymore, because he was so mad. Dana had to call him. So I got to see like all this stuff go on. By the time we got to the fight, and of course, like I love George, Montreal guy. I was like, oh, he's going to smoke him.
Yeah.
And then we saw what happened.
And he did, yeah. That's crazy.
It was fascinating to watch. Like my whole purpose was to just watch his training. He did nothing. He did nothing.
You were in Hawaii for that too?
No, I was just, they would bring the tapes to New York.
Oh, okay.
And I was in like an edit room watching him.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this dude's not doing, he's going for like a light jog
That's crazy.
to train for the fight.
That would make me nervous going into a fight. Not that's why I always bust my ass in the gym so I don't get as nervous.
Right.
If I didn't, no stone unturned, like I need to.
Have you ever like taken one off?
I've definitely done some stupid stuff back when I was an amateur. I remember a stupid story. I don't even know if I want to tell this story. I had a kickboxing fight, and I just had an MMA fight. I just won. It was my first TKO. I won a belt, and then I had to do a kickboxing fight like 3 weeks later. I was like, guys, I don't want to do this. I just fought. I just cut weight. I'm gonna have to cut weight again. I was like, I don't want to do this. My coach was like, do it, because it's your first kickboxing fight. It's gonna give you more confidence with your hands. I'm like, I just really don't want to do this right now. And again, this is the dumbest thing. I'll never ever. I look back at this like I would slap the shit out of myself. Like my brother ever did this, I would slap him. I went to Seaside on Thursday. Fights on Saturday. And we get to Seaside. It's me and my cousin and a couple of friends. And like X-Pac was there.
No way.
You remember X-Pac, right?
Of course.
Yeah, and like the Jersey Shore crew was there. And then my cousin's like, yo, this is crazy, X-Pac. And X-Pac's like throwing shots. He's like, X-Pac wants to do a shot with you. I was like, yeah, let's do it. I'm like, all right. I ended up getting drunk like 2 days before the fight.
Oh, no.
And then just woke up. I stick to my diet, but then I woke up on Saturday, or on Friday, I was like, that was so stupid. Oh my God, I'm freaking about to fight. I have to fight tomorrow. I was like stressing out. And Saturday comes, I go, I make the weight, stuck to my diet. So I was happy about that. I only drank like vodka, like no calories. Then I go into the fight and I was like, fuck, here we go, man. I was like, all right, but you know what? I train with guys that are better than this guy. So you know what? Even if I did that, I should be good. Ended up knocking the guy out in a minute and a half.
Come on.
And I was like, whew, dodged the bullet. I'm never doing that again. All right, thank you, God. I learned my lesson. No, I'm never doing that again.
Wait, maybe there's a case to be made.
No, I'm not doing the John Jones thing where I'm not doing that.
Exactly.
No, I'm not doing that.
That story actually reminded me of Jones walking to the cage for the first Gustafsson fight. What number? 165. Anyway, and he said to himself, I'm about to lose for the first time, because he was partying that whole week in Toronto. He drove like an hour and a half away from Toronto to go party with people, told himself he was going to lose.
Dude, I would be stressing out. There's way too many people watching you. I can't imagine doing that.
Man, you must have been freaking out. When you knocked that
in my
guy
head,
out.
I was like, fuck, man.
No, but when you knocked him out, it must have been awesome.
I was hyped. I was so hyped. I was so hyped. I was like, let's go. Learn my lesson. Never doing that again.
How many kickboxing fights did you have?
I only had two. Two amateur kickboxing fights.
You didn't like it?
No, I liked it, but it was just to get me to be more comfortable with my hands. So my coaches wanted me to do a bunch of jiu-jitsu matches. I did a bunch of those, do some kickboxing fights, and then do MMA to get everything comfortable. So you're not just a one-dimensional fighter. You know what I mean?
And still the same gym.
Yeah.
Same coach that when you walked in as a teenager?
When I was 15 years old, I started at one of the smaller ones, Tiger Schulman's.
Okay.
We ended up going to the headquarters, which is where all the fighters go. So I see him still. He's actually my first instructor is my daughter's instructor now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Sensei Montez.
But he's not in your corner when you're fighting now.
Not anymore.
Now you're pro.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Wow. And now here you are.
Full circle. Yeah.
About to be a multimillionaire because of fighting.
Yeah.
By the time this deal is done. By the time the first year is done?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Because I obviously plan on winning too. So.
Of course. Yeah. And so we're still deciding 45 or 55. First fight.
Probably at 45.
45.
Yeah.
Don't know against who.
No.
Don't know where.
I'm not sure.
No.
Yeah.
And then next year will be 5 fights, right? Because it will be
the 2 out of season fights, or what do you call? I don't remember what you call them.
I think regular season.
Yeah, regular season, then the tournament,
the playoffs, and then the finale.
Yep.
They've got their 45 semifinals this weekend. You're going to be on vacation. You're celebrating.
Yeah.
Where are we going? You want to tell us?
Nothing crazy. I'm just going to Seaside, Lavalette.
Oh, you're not going that far.
Lavalette. I just went to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and then my wife, her whole family's going out to Lavalette. They do it every year, so going out there for a couple.
Are you going to celebrate this?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm not a big drinker or anything like that.
Well,
so
I don't know.
Yeah,
big
eat
dinner.
some food. Yeah, I'm all about that. I'm a foodie. That's why I hate.
This is a great story, man.
Yeah, it is.
Like
it's like a.
I mean, no, I talk ad nauseum about fighter pay, and just like to see you guys have options and be able to get what you're worth, because we all know how small this window is. Right now, you're in your prime. You're on a winning streak now, back on track, and you're getting this huge deal. Like it's a beautiful thing.
It is 100%. Like
and it ends so quickly. Like, look at Rory.
Yeah.
I feel like 3 years ago, we were talking about him as the next big thing. Not to crap on him.
Not at all,
17 years in the game is an incredible run. Look at Dom. These are the moments that you have to capitalize on. I'm happy. I'm happy you didn't say, like, I want to be a UFC fighter. I'm going to take, a quarter less just to tell people. Because there's dudes that do
they're
that.
100%. I did do that the first time, and I don't regret it. Like, I really don't regret it. I fucking love being in the UFC. I love everything about the UFC. Like I said, I can't say that enough. But I just, again, I need to look my kids in the face and be like, when this is said and done, it was worth it. Their college is paid off. I'm happy. I still have money in the bank. I have my fallback plan. I have investments from this and that. So that's where my mind was. That's where my mind said.
Well, I appreciate you coming in to do this.
Before we go, UFC 100. What was the swing bout on that card?
Wow, we're gonna do this. What was the swing bout?
You know what a swing bout is?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
But it didn't come on after.
Yeah, it did.
It came on after?
It did.
After Brock and Mir?
After Brock and Mir.
It wasn't Paulo Tiago, was it?
Versus who?
John Fitch?
Ah,
come on!
all right. That was a hard one. So I was like, all right.
Oh my God.
Good job.
Wow.
Good job.
Hey, you know what's my favorite swing bout story of all time?
Which one?
UFC. Who else could I have this conversation with? UFC 73.
There was a swing bout on that one?
Oh yeah, it's the greatest swing bout story of all time.
And it was it was on pay-per-view. It got televised?
Yeah. Do you know what UFC 73 was?
Is it a heavyweight fight?
So it was called Stacked.
Oh yes, I do know. Nogueira fought. I thought Nogueira fought Heath Herring.
Heath Herring, but what was
Sean
the main?
Sherrick versus Jeremy Franca.
That's right. What was the main?
What was the main? Give me a weight class.
Middleweight. You mentioned the dude.
Anderson.
Yeah.
Anderson and not Rich Franklin. Not Luder, obviously. What did you say?
Marquardt.
Oh yes, Marquardt. I do remember that one.
So,
yes.
but so this is the story. Also,
I remember a swing bout though.
Rashad Tito on that card fought to a draw.
Right?
Yeah. So I had a birthday party and I told my brothers, my friends, like, you got to watch this UFC thing. It's so great. So we all go to a bar to watch it. It was the shittiest card of all time. It was stacked. Right? It was like. So they ran out of time because of the draw. All the fights went the distance.
Yeah.
So the swing bout fight and it was in Sacramento Arco Arena. Kenny Florian, Alvin Robinson. Kenny walks out with the freaking Bruce Lee
kimono,
yellow
kimono thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then he smokes him in like a minute and a half, and that's when he gets on the mic. He says, "Who wants to see fights finished at
Oh, yes,
155?"
yes,
It was
I do
great.
remember that.
And then so it was like, "Oh, finally someone gets a finish right at the end." As everyone's, it was one of my favorite post-fight
And
promos.
that they made that on the pay-per-view too. They put them.
Yeah, they put it after Anderson and Nate. It was supposed to be way earlier, but they ran out of time, so they put them on the back end. They don't really do that anymore.
No, they haven't done.
I think they
thank
just
God.
extend the window.
Thank God. I've been a swing belt back before the UFC, and I never want to be a swing belt ever again.
Because they keep changing
Because
it?
you don't know when you're going to fight. Should I warm up now, or should I warm up in 2 hours from now? Like,
right. Did you ever have one where you were ready to go and they're like, "No,
no, thank God. No, they said you're going to be the 4th fight or the 14th fight, and I was like,
oh my God, that's
so
horrible.
I was like, and I warmed up to be the 4th fight. I was like, I'm fighting, guys. I don't care, and I ended up fighting. So it worked
I'd be
out.
crapping my pants.
Yeah, it was that.
That's like a difference of like 3 hours.
It was stupid. That was stupid. Yeah.
Wow. Well, you don't have to deal with that anymore.
I don't. Yeah.
You're a main eventer.
Yeah.
You're a headliner. You're a multimillionaire. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. I appreciate
So
it.
happy for you.
Thank you.
Well done. And thanks for doing it. This was fun.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we got to do this again. Like some heavier.
I'm sure your phone is blowing up right now.
It is.
Yeah. Oh, you can feel it?
I can feel it.
Okay, awesome. Shane, you're the man. Thank you so much. Ryan, good luck to you, my man. We'll talk to you soon. Congrats to you guys. There he is, Shane Burgos, the newest member of the PFL roster. He's having trouble with the door, though. He's a PFL millionaire, but he can't open the door. There he is, the newest member of the PFL roster, walks into this studio and announces the news.